Good morning, and good morning. How are you? How are you? I tell you, the wintertime going from the allergies and whatever else is going on, I tell you, my eyes bug me. But good morning. How are you? It is Wednesday. It's hump day. It's hump day. Only a few more days before it'll be the weekend. I don't know what you have planned this weekend, but there's always something going on. And, my week has been busy already. Lots of things that I've already accomplished and working on. And, just looking forward to today being a good day. And I found a word, I'm always looking for words that are a little different. And sometimes I have to go with comments. Sometimes I have to go with what's going on in the news. But I don't know. This, I went to the Merriam-Webster's, and of course, they put out some new words for 2024. And this word is called smishing. Smishing. That's Smish. Hey, Debbie. I always love to see you come on in because you come on in. We're ready. Look, class can begin when Debbie gets in. I just made that up. Okay. But anyway, today the word is smishing. And smishing is an unusual word. Smishing, it's unusual for what is being done to us commonly, okay, consistently, 24 hours a day. Someone is going to try to get your information. And, when I worked for the government, everything was called phishing, which is Phising. Now they call it smishing, which it's exclusively done with texting, because we get a lot of texts say, "Oh, your UPS, oh, your package can't be delivered." They constantly have something going on. Be careful, because those are smishing attempts to get you to give out information, personal information about your account. And they're saying some of this stuff is coming in so real. It seems like it was your cousin writing you, or your sister, or your brother, or somebody, your girlfriends, and we respond. We respond. Be careful. So anyway, before I do that, I wanted to go over a few ladies that are, since it's National Women's Month, and of course you all that come in here that are great ladies. I know, I could sing about Debbie. Debbie's just that wonderful. She was funny back then. She's still funny now. And then there's Joan. There's just so many people that come into my sessions here online that really deal with words and connect with each other about how they can get a position and their own ideas as to what's going on. Let me turn my phone off. And what's going on, and how life is, or excuse me, isn't treating them. But they can have their own perspective. And so that's what I'm looking at. So now it's silent. Now it is silent and it's silent. It says, "You bring the best out." Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. But anyway, I found a few funny people and a few interesting people that have made some headways in life. And they did it, regardless. These women did it regardless of whatever time period they were growing up in. So I just want to make sure that I pay some attention to who else has gone before me. Maybe one day my name will be out there as somebody that tried to help. I didn't make any money at it, but I tried to help doing something with it. So the first person I have is Lucille Ball. Now, if you're a child that grew up in the 60s, they're on reruns now. So I mean, there's not even anybody that can say that what she was doing back then was funny and it's still funny now. I love Lucy. Yes. So anyway, Lucille Ball was an American actress and comedian, was reportedly known as the queen of the B movies, because she was never on, considered that like the A-list as they call it today. And it was given her she had a long series of doing a long period of doing low rated films, and so no one really put her in like the lead character. She was always like, well, if we gotta, the A side is the best side of the record, but if you go to the B side, it's okay. She was the B side. And it says this was, of course, before her break on and into really big stuff with Desi Arnaz, which was her husband. And there came what Debbie said, I Love Lucy. And then we want to move on. I'm just going to give you a little glimpse of some of these people. Katy Perry. Katy Perry is a young singer who they call her Firework. Singer was dropped from not one but three major record labels. See, sometimes we're turned away before we realize we don't need anybody else to tell us what our talent is. We just have somebody that will believe in us enough to give us a chance. If they give us a real chance, then we're going to take the chance and we're going to move out on it. Good morning, Cheryl. How are you doing, sweetie? So anyway, she was dropped from three major record labels before she bagged a contract with the newly formed Capitol Music Group in 2006. 7 years after dropping out of school in her freshman year to pursue singing, it was at the Capitol where she wrote and released I Kissed a Girl, and the rest, of course, is history. And see, sometimes we don't even realize where our moment may be. We don't even know. Good morning, Calithia. How are you? We don't even know where our moment may be, but we will be recognized the way we're supposed to be recognized. Since I know I believe in God, I feel when it's my time, it'll be my time. When it's someone else's time, it's their time. And I'm not going to try to interrupt anyone else's time. It is what it is. Now, I got an old one for you. Melissa May Alcott. Who knows who Melissa May Alcott is? Good morning, Idelia. How are you, sweet pea? Today, I'll give us our word in a minute, but we're just going over a few famous women. Now, you all are famous to me because I know you. I love you guys. You come on in here with me, but there may be some men coming in and hanging out on the edge. Hello, good morning, men, and anyone else. But Melissa May excuse me, Alcott, she might be famed for her award-winning novel, Little Woman, but her road to success wasn't easy. It's like many people really felt that the things that she had to do, she ended up being most of the time, it says, as a servant and helping to make her ends meet, doing anything she could to make sure that by the time she finished what she was doing, she had enough information to write about her life dealing with other women and watching people, how they deal within families. Interesting enough. And I got one more, Beyonce. Beyonce, she might be the queen of pop music nowadays, but back in the early days, at the age of 12, Beyonce and her girls, time bandmates, and they would say they were called her bandmates. It says her first pop group were booted out of a talent show called the Star Search. Y'all remember Star Search if you're old enough? Losing to a rock band. From this, she was inspired to become more creative in her letters and writing, using the page and pen as tools for her emotional outlet. And remember, I talked about how many of us can realize the importance of journaling. If you're a person who journals, it's wonderful because one day you can go back and discover things that you've written and how good they are. Because, they say if you write from your heart and from where you're at, you're on top. You're on top. You'll be on top of a lot of things. So let's talk about today's word. Today's word is smishing. Smishing. It says it is a noun. It's the practice of sending text messages to someone in order to trick the person into revealing personal and confidential information, which can be then used for criminal purposes. And it says smishing it's social engineering, and it's attack that uses fake mobile text messages to trick people into downloading their malware, sharing sensitive information, or sending money to cyber criminals. And it's so funny because I feel as we get older and older and less willing to learn what is going on in terms of technology, computer computer software and all those kinds of things, we become more in line to be victimized, just more willing that someone's out there. They attempt to do everything they can to get what we have, something that they have not worked for, but something that they feel entitlement to. Okay, they steal, basically. And it says, so the term smishing is a combination of SMS, which is talked about short message service, and technology behind text messaging, which is phishing. So you see how, now Merriam-Webster has now put that in their dictionary. So you can find it in the Cambridge Dictionary, so they're changing. We're starting to realize that the dictionary they're not going out of what I would call really expansive words, or words that would make us quite intelligent. But it also talks about they're using words from, young people. How young people, they don't say the whole word. Like I told you, Riz came from charisma. There you go. So, you're looking at this. This is putting two words together, SMS and phishing. And phishing is what we known is always what they've done when they try to get you to give information. So they're just putting together saying that cyber phishing is going on in short message traffic. And they're trying to get you and me and anybody else out there. Whoever will respond is who they're looking for. Whoever. Before Mr. Al died, my good friend and great musician, he would always answer, messages and telephone calls. I said, don't pick them up. Good morning, Miss Rosie. Don't pick them up. If you don't pick up the phone, you won't have to know. Let them leave a message. But a lot of times the messages will let you know that they're asking for something that you shouldn't be giving them, or they're just trying to see who they can get to just call back. So I never call them back. In fact, I have another phone, a house phone, that I never answer. I only leave it in the case that that my cell phone line goes down and I need another way to access, calling someone. And my problem is I don't know anybody's phone number. How about you? You know people's phone number? I only probably have about 5 that I keep in my head. The rest of them is like, oh yeah, I just quick dial them, speed dial. That's what we do. So anyway, we move on in the word of looking at what smishing is. The S in smishing for me is steal. They're stealing stuff. They are attempting to steal what they have not worked for, what they have not earned, what they're not entitled to. That's what they're doing. Slug. They are slugs. They are slugs. But you know what? Slugs want happiness too. They do. They're looking for it anyway. Even though they may be slow about doing it, they're fast about taking it. So they're looking for something. And it says that stealing is to take something that's someone else's property without permission or legal right and without intending to return it. I mean, they're stealing. I always look at some of those crime shows, and it shows you how some people, started out with something as simple as, just responding to a text that they thought it was somebody that they knew. Well, they didn't know them, but they really were using someone else's name to get the information. Hey, I forgot the number to the so-and-so and so. And the person types it in. Well, that means they have access, and they are scammers, Debbie. Very, very good. They are scammers. So they said that they're purloin, and purloin is Perloin. That means to steal, purloin. Also says they are thieves, they are takers, they take for themselves, that they are looters, they're pilfers, they will abscond. I love that word, abscond with your stuff. They will misappropriate themselves and get what you own and what's yours, scumbags. I'm gonna quit talking to you. That's so good. They're spite. They're looking at being spiteful, and they will nab. That's all of what a stealer is, and that's what they're planning on doing to anything that you give them access to. So you can't give people access to things that are personally yours. You can't do it. Just can't do it. My M, when I move on in the word, is malware. Malware, Malware. Malware is software that is specifically designed to disrupt whatever you have going on, damage, or gain unauthorized access to computer systems. You know, I got something yesterday and it was telling me that it didn't, that I had missed an opportunity to receive some money that was being sent to me, and if I would just call this number. Well, no, I didn't call it. And I don't know if you've seen those things that they're doing lately. If there's I would say popular people online and you might have written a note or something, they will come up right away, and those messages will say, this is your lucky day. You will not, regret the fact that I'm giving you this information. Text me this, right? Text me here, contact me immediately, and we're going to get that is malware. That is an attempt to get you to give them information. Menace. Oh, that's good, Cheryl. Menace. They are menace. Menace to society. Remember that movie? But anyway, it is meant to be obtrusive, intrusive, stealing data. It says it's meant to destroy your computer and your computer system. It's kind of scary stuff. When I worked for the government, they blocked everything. So, people would say, I'm going to send you something. And, we would always say, well, even with it being the government, if the government feels that with the location or the computer you're using has an IP address that cannot be identified, then they're not going to let it in. And so a lot of times people will call me and say, well, I was trying to send it. I can't get it to you. Okay. Go to another computer. Get it right. So they destroyed it. That malware looks at being worms coming in, Trojans, adware, or ransomware. That's all the names that they call it. Some of everything, really. Some of everything. What does she have? Maroons. Yes, Maroons is good too. So, when we look at the ways people will have access to us, they may not do it face to face. They're going to do it where they think we become vulnerable. We become vulnerable because technology is moving faster than our heads can even gather it all. And then, now they're talking, I heard this morning on TV, they're worried about AI. And because if you have people that are corrupt in just regular life, and then they have the access to become corrupt and manipulative, that's good, Debbie, right there, through using AI, then that means we will be even more vulnerable. So it won't be just the people who are stealing information from us saying that they're our cousins. They'll send us pictures to look like our cousins, look like our parents, look like our children. Scary stuff, scary. When we move on in our word of smishing, the I for me is intentional. Okay. I feel that they intend to be disruptive to us. They intend to take what isn't theirs. They intend to do that. So they're intentional. It says done with intention or with a purpose. Their purpose, okay, not just to steal, but to be able to have access to more stuff, more things, So when we look at the word of just smashing, it just says, I think of smashing also being put together, smashing together. So it says intentionally meaning to insult. If you take my money, you've insulted me. If you have access to information about me that you shouldn't have, then that's insulting. So it says, to intentional insult of or relating to intention for a purpose. There's a purpose that they're doing it, because, there's people that are still reeling from having an incident that happened to them where they not only lost a little bit of money, they lost all of their money, all of their savings, all of their 401ks, just trying to, investment schemes and so many things that just put people at odds with what is theirs. It's their stuff, making them angry. That's good. That's a good word. Sometimes we do become angry. We move further on in our word of smishing. We look at being scandalous. I love that word, scandalous. Invasion. Ooh, come on now. Invasion. That's good for intentional with the I. Invasion, because it is. It's an invasion. It's an insult. It's intentional. It's an invasion. It's all of those things. When we look at scandalous in our word selection, it says causing general public outrage by perceived offense against morality of law. Yeah, meaning they do things and they should be considered criminals because they are, and they do things with the intent of making sure that they get away with it, scandalous. And it says that they're dishonorable, disrespectful, scurrilous, sordid, malicious, and basically horrible people. When we think of scandalous acts that have happened to us, has anyone ever had something happen to them that's online now, that's happened to them where it started with a text message, where maybe you lost money, or you caught yourself before you did all that? I know they have ID checks, and then they have another one that it's supposed to keep you safe, sure safes and all these kind of things, which are supposed to weed out any malicious texts that you get. But I think those are more for email. So text is what probably is more simplified and probably easier to get in and out of, is what I'm thinking. I don't know that, but I'm thinking that that's why texting has been more targeted lately, over the emails. Although some people go and open up every single email, I don't. Some I just automatically delete them and send them to trash and empty the trash right away. I don't even let them stay in there once they come in. And it says if it's a scam or something, that it will go to that area of my computer. But I don't want any of them on there. If they're indicating something to me or I'm suspicious of them, I won't open them. We move further on in the word of smishing. My H. Good morning, Maurice. How are you? I saw you yesterday running my meeting. I couldn't say much, but because they were heated, because we ended up getting in another place where we shouldn't have been, which was so public. But it is what it is. But my H is for harmful. When we look at the word smishing, and I think Maurice deals with computers, so I'm quite sure he's heard that word before. But smishing it says it's harmful, causing or likely to cause harm. That's what smishing is. They intend to send you that text message, you open it up, and automatically it's starting to really get into information about you, because they would just keep coming back. Well, you didn't answer this question, you didn't answer that question, so you have to be real clear. Heated. Oh, that's really good. Oh yeah, you did see me. Yes. Thanks. Haunt. Oh, that's good. Haunt is really good, because that would be haunting, if they keep bothering you. But when something is harmful, it says causing or likely to cause harm. It's damaging, it's injurious, it's dangerous, it's detrimental, hurtful, hateful, wounding, and destructive. You think of some people that have been through where they've lost money or they've lost possessions. I talked to one lady one time, and she said that someone signed her house off and under her because they were able to do it. And it's now, well, that was through email, where she thought it was her children talking with her, and it wasn't. When all was said and done, that wasn't the case. And they were able to turn it back only because they found out that that there was a root of destruction that they were able to pull up and say, hey, look, we know this now is not true, that you did not sign for this, and therefore that your house is still yours. But can you imagine? Come on now. People are horrible. So when something, is harmful, it is a destructive behavior. It's just meant to destroy, meant to, take your confidence away from you. My second I is for intrusive. I find that when someone has done something to me, such as coming in through a text message or an email, and doing it knowing it is corrupt, then they're intrusive on anything that belongs to me. It says causing disruption or annoyance through being unwelcome or uninvited. Unwelcomed and uninvited. So they invite themselves into your business. It becomes intruding, obtrusive, which is what I spoke about before, invasive, trespassing, disturbing, and annoying. I don't know what else you can say about something being, so disruptive that it could ruin, how you're living going forward, only because you made one mistake here and you didn't go back and check it, or you didn't know to check it because it sounded so real. These folks are professional con artists, professionally into their ability to bribe, steal, coerce, just basically take your stuff and your ability to defend yourself. Anyway, it talks about it being all those things, but it says when we move on in our word, we look at it being nefarious. And I've spoken about nefarious before, and it says typically of an action or an activity. It is wicked and it is criminal. When something is going on that doesn't really and truthfully, nefarious, nefarious. Many of us have probably been exposed to nefarious behavior, but we didn't realize what it was at the time, but eventually we did. It says it's villainous, it's heinous, it's appalling, it's foul, it's abominable. It says it's devilish, and it says it's monstrous. When we look at some of the things that have happened to other people just by the simple thing of using email and text messaging, that's crazy. That's crazy. So, I suggest that from now on, every single text message you get, if you don't know who sent it, or you're not really sure about it, and every single, what I would call buyer online has a seller online has it where they want you, in order to be a part of their discount programs and stuff, they want you to sign up. I've been going through getting rid of everybody. And if I want something, I will buy it. And if they make it where I have to only put in my email to buy, I will go ahead and buy it from the direct email, not through my my messaging, and not through my email. I don't do it like that anymore. I go directly to the site. They said that's the best way to buy anything. Don't buy it through a third party, especially through like a Facebook or a TikTok and all of them. No, find the original site and the actual online site, and make sure that it has, the security, all the security of a proper web address attached to it, or a part of it. Don't make it where you all of a sudden are just sending stuff out in space and your money is gone with it. It is. My last word for my G, what would you put for your G without me giving it to you first? What will you put for your G in looking at the word smishing, not smashing, smishing, which really deals with and people getting your information because it comes in through your email as a text message. What would you write for your G? I know you're there. What would you write? There's so many words that you could probably think of that let's see, greedy, they are. Gnawing, they are. Oh, those are really good. I like gnawing. Yes, and greedy is really good. Gather, because that's what they're doing. They are gathering information about you. They were talking about one, and Maurice can probably speak to this. They were talking about one that once it gets into your system, I guess it is like a worm or a Trojan or something. But what it does is it's able to even evaluate your keystrokes. That's scary. I don't know about that one right there, but that's scary. But greed is good. Greedy is good. Greed is good. Gather, gnawing, all of those are good. I put that they're guilty, culpable of being responsible for doing things which are absolutely wrong. They are a guilty population of people, and how do you get to them? Because they're always ahead. Grungy. Grungy's good. How do you get ahead of them? I don't know. I don't know. I always wondered, how do you get ahead of people who their main intent is to do you harm or take something from you, which ultimately will end in a form of harm. It's just crazy. It says, but basically, if they are guilty, they're culpable, they're at fault. The blame belongs to them, so they are blameworthy. They are liable. They are sinful. They are felonious. I mean, you just think about what kind of people are these, And they said a lot of times this goes on, and they said that these some of these people end up after getting caught that they actually go and work for the governments, in their countries. And they said that a lot of it goes on in Africa. A lot of the African countries have picked up how to, especially Americans, because we love, using our gadgets. And they were saying something like we hold a computer in our hand, which has all of our data. So basically, we need to look at this computer as being priceless and a part of our lives. Guard and protect your information. Absolutely, absolutely, Ardelia. We have to. If we don't, someone else will have it. Someone else will have our information and act as if they're us and steal our money or our property, our possessions. It's just absolutely crazy. But they say that, and I notice when I go to my dashboard and I look around, my dashboard is revealing, and what some of the things it shows me is that a lot of people that come in and are looking at my sessions, they're from other countries. Africa's a big portion of it, Nigeria, Ghana. I'm looking at them. you know so we have to be careful. We have to look at, just because I'm out here trying to help people, I'm not out here trying to make myself vulnerable to people wanting to help themselves, to something that I've worked for all of my life, making sure that I did my education, I do my research, I actually come with intent of doing good in the world, and their thing is to do bad against myself and others, for the purpose of just greed and being grungy people, and gnawing and feeling no hatred for what they're doing, but very much excited about the kind of people that they have become. I don't want to ever become that kind of person. And I don't ever want anyone to do those kinds of things to me. So I alert myself. And when I do a presentation for you, I'm into it. I understand what it is that they're talking about and the crucialness of what it is they intend to do to us. So keep your information safe. Do not respond to everybody that sends you a text message. If you know it's suspicious, don't even respond to it and get rid of it. Delete it immediately from your entire phone. Delete it, and try to do it as soon as it comes in. Sometimes it activates when you open. I'm thinking I'm right. Is that right, Maurice, if you're still here? I think some of them activate when you open them up. Same thing with email. So emails, I just go through. I didn't used to be as good as I am now, where, because now I'm looking at space, on my phone and stuff, because it just takes up a lot of space for things. But okay, I am right. Thank you. Maurice is my go-to. He's the go-to guru for IT stuff. I've known him to work in that field for a while. But anyway, I want y'all to have a wonderful day. Take stock in safeguarding the information that you give out and the information you allow to sit on your phone. Don't let it sit on your phones. Get rid of it. Get rid of it off your computer as well. You can look at the preview, no problem, but don't open it. That's right. That's right. Oh, that's good right there. That's good right there. Y'all see that? You can look at the preview, no problem, but don't open it up. So once you open things up is when they begin to do their running through, your information, your system. And, I don't even like those sites that save your money. I mean, that save your data, such as your name, your card number. If they're going to save my card number, I won't buy anything from them. Of course, my bank, I'll do it from my bank side because my bank will just have it where it just automatically will come out. But I don't do it from the other side where I'm talking with you and you're saving my information just because I'm buying something for you. No. And they always ask you, do you want to leave this? Do you want to leave this open and to make it easier for you to? No, absolutely not. I don't want you to keep my number. And I have a tendency to change. I'll change my cards too. If the least little thing happen, I will change my card. I will. It says, Mom said the devil is always busy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Delete and empty trash. Delete and empty trash. So all these things that I'm telling you, he's giving it to you right there. Thank you so much, Maurice. Thank you, Adelia. Thank you, Debbie, Calithia, Cheryl, all that's even on the peripheral. Hello, hello, hello. If you don't do anything else, send this out to somebody, just as a share that they can read online. It doesn't have to go to their email or their text messaging area. Just send it out, okay, as a share. And I appreciate that. I love you guys. I will be back on Friday with one other word for the week. And then we're going to party for the weekend. Now, your party may not be like mine. Mine is I'm going to clean the house. I'm going to do some writing and some singing. That's about it. That's it. I'm done already. I'm done. Actually, I have a party to go to. So I am going to do that. But listen, have a wonderful day and be safe out there, okay? Love you guys. Appreciate you too. Thank you. Bye-bye.